Hello everyone, and how are we doing today? So there's not much I can really say about this for the moment, so we will just jump straight in and head over to the Nolan household. So last time we met Tiffany, who was a two-bolter for Richard, and subsequently moved her in, but I am not going to be rushing any kind of romantic actions or anything like marriage with them. We will just have to wait and see if they roll up those wants themselves. So this will be us finishing up the second rotation, or alternatively the first full week in this new town. So let's just get the game loading, and hopefully, seeing as I did actually preload this earlier today, it won't take quite as long to go through and load the families. But this is of course when the game is going to make me out to be a liar once again. Oh, for the days where this will be given to GOG and they will have the source code and be able to make everything nice and pretty and work on more modern and futuristic 64-bit systems. Oh, those would be the days. Yeah, I know that's never, ever going to happen. If it was, probably would have been about the time that they gave out The Sims 2 on Origin for people. So, well, yeah. So anyway, Richard Nolan here is basically our main business owner, and before the end of the previous rotation, or rather technically during this rotation, we had the other families manage to harvest up quite a few tomatoes and crate them up, so Richard himself has some things that he can now sell without having to buy and import some expensive items, which should be good. And I think I have figured out how I am going to split the profits on it. Basically, we know that there should be 40 crates of tomatoes when we load in. Then I basically will see how many are left at the end of the week, divide that by 2, and then do, or rather, okay, step back a bit. So take the number of tomato crates we have, how much they sell for, then calculate how many got sold at that price, then divide that by 2 and send that money off to the relevant households, and they can have that as their money. And that should hopefully mean that one household which had I think it was 7 simoleons left when we finished them, they should actually have some money to grow some more veg, because yeah, because they had no money, they couldn't grow anything, and I thought the vegetable plots were glitched, so I sold them and tried again, and nope, no money. It was only when I put back half of them that we had the excess funds that I realised that, yes, the reason why they can't plant stuff is because they can't afford it. So yes, the game is making me out to be a tiny bit of a liar, as it is taking a while to load in. But we will, unfortunately, there's nothing I can really do. We will just have to be patient. So speaking of that, how has everyone's weekend been? I hope everyone, if you had some day or days free of responsibilities, things went well for you. For myself, I finally dragged myself out to actually tend to some of the plants I have growing outside. We've had a lot of rain in May, and I mean, I'm not just saying that. Weather reports and news have said that this has been like the wettest May in absolutely forever. And the potatoes that I planted out went from tiny little 1 centimetre shoots to like 25 centimetres. So those needed a fair amount of shoring up and earthing up to make sure that they actually had some soil around them to start producing a decent crop of potatoes. And okay, let's come on, game. Okay, yes, I think this is really affirming that next time I should probably start off the stream actually loaded into a family rather than loading it in the first place. Simply because this is obviously going to take its sweet time. So I'm sorry about this, people. I promise next time I will remember to load into this beforehand. And, well, slightly frustrating, but we will manage with this. There we go. Yep, there we go. We have finally loaded in, and we will be able to get to the sim family momentarily. So yes, unfortunately that takes about... I have it all set up on the neighbourhood screen and it looks like it takes about 5 minutes to actually properly load through. Here we go. And there we go. Okay. So let's just have a look. So, okay. Richard Nolan rolls in with a want to get engaged. As does Tiffany. Okay, I guess we know what we're doing here then. So, you have a fear of getting rejected, so do you. So honestly, 5,000 and 1,000. Okay, it is exactly the same amount, and I think seeing as this is... like, Richard himself is our resident sim, or at least the household is named after him, we will propose propose engagement with him, and despite my usual rules, I think we will be marrying Tiffany in and having her take the Nolan name just to ensure that this household stays under the Nolan name. So let's just zoom in on this. And there we go, a nice little engagement. So unfortunately, Richard Nolan does seem to have his face stuck, so I will just quickly look at that. Okay, so fix stupid expressions, and for you as well, just in case. And let's see. So yep, the same amount of aspiration points, and I don't think we'll be throwing a party because there doesn't seem to be too much point to that. So instead we will just go straight to the marriage ceremony itself. And once again, zoom in nice and close and have a nice little scene with them. And of course, this does probably also mean that the others... Yep, there we go. Okay, Richard has rolled the want to have a baby almost immediately. Jeez. And so has Tiffany as well. I don't think... No, don't think Tiffany rolled a secondary want at all, did she? But I can give you a couple of those aspiration perks there. And then similarly, I think, yes, we will take those two, because these are not really going to be useful in our neighborhood. And similarly with that, so they want to have a baby, so this is Thursday 7:43 p.m. They are young enough that they shouldn't have any issues. So Tiffany, try for baby percentage 64 and ideal number of kids 1. And with Richard, so yes, ideal number of kids 1. So those are all standard. And also, before I forget, we have all of those imported veg. But then at the end here, we have 40 crates of tomatoes, and of course we also have some pole beans and strawberries that we can box up, and that will just be pure profit for us. So if I just quickly do that, and that is going to be the fish crate again, isn't it? Because I completely messed up on that. So we can nevertheless sell that and then go back to the garden centre and actually get the proper one. So it is there. And I think also we will get a couple of ladybug houses out as well, just so we have that. So we want you to pack many crates of pole beans and pack many crates of strawberries as well. So that will leave Tiffany to her own devices. She has a couple of things that she needs to have a look around at. And we'll just put speed up and process through this, and then we will let them get to their new lives as newlyweds, and I will set up probably a couple more stalls in our little business area here for all of these fruits and vegetables, and they are woohooing on the sofa again. I will zoom out from that. So what we want here is most likely a couple more of these market shelves. Now where can they go where they're not going to be potentially in the way? So I think if we move that there and move that forwards, then we can fit 2 rows of these right there. Then we can come back down and have a look. Does that give people enough movement or space? Yes, it does. So then we can move the I can't think of the right word, the cash machine, whatever you want to call it, and then we can move this back here so there is still some coverage. And actually we move this, okay, so that's going to have to be there, so we might want to do a little extra bit of awning. But yes, okay, that looks fine to me. So we will come back and grab the packed fruits and veggies. So we only have 2 strawberry crates and 3 pole beans, but that should be fine. We can put a couple of these up here. Yep, and that works. Okay, so that will be an oops, I didn't mean to go all the way through that. So we want there and there, so that's 4, so that's okay, 10 crates at least to start off with anyway. Then we can go back up here and do this row, and then we will be able to set them for sale. And similarly, I think we will set them to not expensive but average, and that I thought it might set the stall itself for sale, but I just wanted to check that that wasn't going to be a quick shortcut on that. So each tomato box is going to sell for 83 simoleons, and we have a bit of excess, so we've got 6 excess strawberries. And okay, apparently we didn't have any excess pole beans, unlike what the game was trying to say to us. So are they still woohooing on the sofa? No, they've finished. Okay. Then I just actually want to check, do I have, so hood wide settings, global switches, there we go, try for baby dot dialogues are now enabled. So as I thought so, doesn't take long. Tiffany is now pregnant. So we do have now a new rule to set up. So if we go here over to Tiffany and we put adjust multiple birth odds, we can see the current odds, which are far and away from what I normally do. So single birth 76%, twins 15%, triplets 6%, and quadruplets 3%. So I have a huge list, and I am not kidding when I say that, a huge list of basically pregnancy odds, which are calculated from a base of single birth being 90%, twins being 7%, triplets being 2%, and quads being 1%. However, if a sim has been born as a multiple, either by a like the twin token activated, or by just trips and quads rolling them as a multiple, they get a 15% base boost to their multiple birth odds. So I then have odds adjusted for that. So basically the only change is that single birth goes down to 89% and twins goes up to 8%. Then you add on IVF, which is what sims have to pay for to basically ensure that well, it basically gives them a huge multiplier to their fertility. So for instance, if there is one parent who has had IVF, then if a sim is a singleton themselves, it goes down to 74% for a single, 18% for twins, 5% for triplets, and 3% for quadruplets. But if both sims were multiples, then that goes to 66% options for singleton, 23% for twins, 8% for triplets, and 3% for quads. So while we're talking about that, let's actually adjust the multiple birth odds, and we want to change the odds of quadruplets just down to 1%. If Tiffany would not nap on the sofa, that would be very much appreciated. So let's say, come on, there's going to be some way I can get 1%. So there we go, that's changed that. Then we want triplets at 2%. So adjust triplet odds. And we can just do that up one tick. And then adjust multiple birth odds. Change twin odds, and we want to put that at 7%. So once again, try and there we go, get one that is uneven. And then adjust multiple birth odds, make odds global, and that should now, yes indeed, single birth 90%, twins 7, triplets 2, and quadruplets 1. So we can progress through that. And I also have a mod that speeds up the pregnancy, so in 25 hours, or just about, you know, it's probably going to be almost midnight or Friday evening, she will be having at least one baby, so we'll be able to see what happens there. And needless to say, they're both redheads. There are no recessive blonde hair genes or any others in play, so the kid will definitely have red hair. But the eyes, that will be a different tale. I can't actually remember if I set Richard with some recessive genes or not. He has green eyes. And Tiffany has purple greyish eyes. Actually, let's try sim DNA Richard. And okay, yes, he does have a recessive gene set. So the baby could have green eyes, could have purpley blue eyes, or could have the whatever recessive gene that Richard has, because I have completely forgotten which one I set. It's always nice to know that you set up recessive genetics for your sims and you completely forget what they are. It does remind me of one time I was doing a legacy challenge and I decided that no napping on the sofa, please. And I decided that I would roll my founder with like black hair and brown eyes, but I would similarly roll him some recessive genetics in Creator Sim. So he ended up with, I can't necessarily remember what eye colour, it may have been blue, but he ended up with blonde hair as recessive, and I forgot about it so much that it passed through his daughter, her son, and then his son to, I think it was the fourth generation. I married the third generation heir to a blonde-haired woman, and they had a kid, and the kid was blonde. I could not figure out what happened until I actually looked at things and went, oh yeah, I did set a recessive blonde gene back then, didn't I? So anyway, Tiffany has popped into the second trimester. She's gotten a bit of time off work. So technically, you know, that is something that we could probably get her to quit. So call work and quit. Thing is, technically there's no real job situation in this town. Well, not ones that require you to go outside the house anyway. So unfortunately the outfit she has doesn't have a pregnancy morph, but I will just ignore that. I'm not too fussed about that. We know she's pregnant and that is pretty much the main thing that matters to me. So we will probably get to 9 AM. Oh, Tiffany. Okay. I was just checking. I couldn't quite remember if she had any badges or not, but the answer is yes, she does, but they are completely useless. So I think we will probably set her as the cashier and then get Richard to be salesperson. Aside from the fact that Richard's deciding we need a second breakfast and this looks like a decidedly unhealthy, yep, chocolate pudding. Not that I necessarily complain about that, but well, the most nutritious breakfast you could possibly have. Just let him finish that up and probably get you to eat that, as your motives will be going down a fair bit quicker given the pregnancy. So let's just toggle open close and then we will tell Richard over here, so business be restocker. And I want to remember to relock this, so we want household and employees only. And then we can make you be the cashier once you've finished up your food. So there we go, business be cashier. And obviously I may need to tweak Richard a little bit and get him to sell things to a few different simmers. Or sims rather, not simmers. Okay, and we've got that young kid coming by again. That's fine. I have basically set this business to allow every sim aged child and above. And seeing as I only generated 30 sims, just using the neighborhood, like shift click here, neighborhood, create townies. Oh, and we have our first playable. Raymond Huffman has decided to pop by. So no, we don't want to hire him. We don't want to hire him. We want to sell to him, not hire him. Okay, so business be restocker. So things seem to be going pretty decently. They're all selling things mostly without need for me to intervene. We'll just give a few tweaks along the way. And just make sure, okay, apparently Ethel isn't too happy despite me setting this to a retail establishment, so they should be willing. So let's go hard sale for her and hope that just doesn't push her away even more. Okay, no, that's just pushed her away even more, so we will leave her then. And yeah, okay, she's just got a negative star. But thankfully Raymond over here gained one. That balances things out, and we are now at level 3 business. So I completely forgot when we got to level 2 to actually take a business perk, so we will just go straight up the wholesale route. And what does that do for our profits? And that now means that average is 25% above the wholesale cost and expensive is 35% above. Although how much that will actually change these items, seeing as they are from a modded object rather than out of the catalogue, will remain to be seen, but nevertheless it will be absolutely, well, a decent option if we decide to start selling anything through the catalogue rather than it being pretty much homegrown produce. So we have the last of our strawberries have sold. And what else? So we could put the other pole beans up, which I think we will do, and set that for sale. So there. And back to speed 2 and continue on. So actually it might be an idea. Let's get you sales, may I help you? It might be an idea when we clear out this line of people to set Richard as the cashier, because he actually has a badge in it and he's probably not going to annoy all of our customers like that. Yeah, okay, she's just got a bronze cash register badge, so that will be okay now. She'll have at least a tiny bit of skill with that now, and we won't have too many people getting annoyed at the situation, I hope. So she's just gone off to the bathroom and just doing a few sales for some of these other Sims. And I'm just making sure that there are no Sims that he may have had a higher voltage with, but it doesn't look like it. So Richard gains a gold sales talent badge. So he can now razzle and dazzle everyone. And I think it might be an idea if I actually send you off to have a bit of a nap. There's like one thing that I do like from The Sims 3, which is unfortunately missing here, is obviously the option to send your Sims to bed to actually have a nap. Instead, we're just going to have to put her on the sofa and hope that that is enough to get her energy levels at least up a tiny bit. Okay, so Richard's mostly balancing the tasks of restocking and selling, or doing the cash register and ringing up purchases to people. And I honestly think the rate at which we are going to run out of tomatoes before the end of the week, which is, well, in some regards actually going to be a good thing, because that means loads of money for us, loads of profits, and lots of money back to the households that grew all of this stuff. And that is going to be very nice for everyone. So let's just have a look. Okay, I don't think you were the reviewer last time. I think that was someone else, though for the life of me I cannot remember quite what they looked like. And yeah, you can obviously see one of the downsides of just having 30 Sims generated for the neighborhood, in that people kind of come along, shop for something, buy it, leave, and then they pop back again a short while later. Okay, and I think we are probably going to have to, yes, close the business. And sorry about this, but we are going to need you to be cashier and just ring everyone up that's purchased something. Yes, come on. Okay, that's not good. That is major motive decay. Oh dear. Oh no, okay, that was her actually giving birth. Right, so unfortunately we didn't quite get to the sim randomizer, but we will just have to remember that this is basically number 0 and at least 1. Oh my goodness. Okay, you all saw that. You all saw me put the new odds on. There was a 2% chance of triplets. There was a 2% chance of triplets, and what do we get? We get triplets. Okay, you are going to have to be the cashier. I'm sorry, you're going to have to miss a few things, but let's have a look. Okay, so obviously naturally red hair, lightish skin, and let's have a look. Eyes are, okay, this one. Let me just zoom in. So these are, okay, mum's eyes, baby number 1, and baby number 1 is a boy. Okay. Baby number 2 is a girl, and this is, let's just see, Baby number 2 also looks like mum's eyes and is a girl. And baby number 3, my goodness, is another girl with, let's just have a look. Yep, those look like mum's eyes again, but we will be able to see in a minute from the sim DNA. It's not a cheat, but it's a or something that you basically need to have testing cheats enabled from, like, right from the very beginning before you even load up the game. So let me just get back up all of my randomizer things. So desktop and random stuff. So we want 1 boy's name and 2 girls' names, and I want to keep them in some sort of alphabetical order. So first one that pops up that looks nice to me is Harry, so I will note that one down. There we go, Harry, and let's just do a couple more randomizers for male names. Nothing there that I'm particularly fond of. Again, nothing that I'm particularly fond of. 2 spellings of Giovanni. Okay, nothing there, so we're going to be going for Harry for our boy. And for our girl, Marcia looks nice. And again, a couple more randomizers. Now, I would go for Abby if we weren't having the boy named Harry. And okay, let's go for Harry, Isabel, and Marcia then. Okay, so Harry, and I'm trying to remember the way that Cryptids and Quads does this, because I think this will be Marcia, and then this one will be Isabel, and we can see in the memories if we have that correct or not. So Harry, Isabel, Marcia. Yes, I got it right. We don't have to fiddle around with anything to change the names, so that is good. And obviously, as we have triplets, we are going to need 3 cribs for the babies. And I am not going to worry about making them all unique, different colours, nothing like that. It's just going to be standard ones, 2 changing crib or 2 changing tables, and then wondering what on earth we are going to do. Because my goodness, I was not expecting triplets. And we also want the baby monitor, because I just cannot deal with more than twins without this thing. And we'll also set bottles to disintegrate just to make it good on me, because you know, the thing, this will just, oi, no, I want you to come back. Okay, nope, you're not going to do that, are you? So this sim, okay, yep. So we're just going to have to clean that up at a later point, and you can just go away. Come on, clean up. So anyway, the baby monitor should pretty much take care of everything and push push the parents to take care of any needs for the babies. Though of course this may result in the adults having a few issues supplying their own needs. But we'll come here, get you to make some food. Yes, or if you wait a moment, we will actually have something for you to eat. In the meantime, you can clean that up and not try and go back to bed. Your energy is fine, you just basically need to get some food. As soon as you do that, you shouldn't be at the level where you're going to fall asleep in your food. You may need 2 bowls, but you can have that. And then what does Nolan want after having those 3 kids? Okay, so level 4 business, best of the best award and a good review. And you just generally want to show item to customer and otherwise be romantic with Richard. Okay, I'll let you have another bowl of that as well. So this is going to be interesting. This is definitely going to probably be one of the first households to consider getting an extension, because 3 kids. I've got bunk beds and we would be able to fit 3 beds in that bedroom from that. But when it comes to actually them having any of their own kids, that would be a little trickier, let's just say. So everything seems to be running, well, as smoothly as it can be. Richard probably should be heading off to bed soon, and that bathroom is going to need to be cleaned up in the morning, because that is just not nice at all. Basically, his platinum mood has filtered out after having those kids. And he's obviously taking a bath, because that's taking absolutely forever, and now he's getting to bed. Okay. So we can do all of that, and this may be a situation where we have the business temporarily shuttered while we take care of the newborn babies in the town. So of course, because of that, actually, how many tomatoes do we have left? So we have 12 there. So, okay, so 22, so we've sold 18 of them, which is 18 at 23, so I am just going to have to put that in my notes. 12 times 83, and that will be about 400 and something to each of the households. And yes, you can see here, this is why I have the baby monitor thing, because there is no way I would be able to manage all of them as well as these Sims are doing. So that is going to be 498 simoleons to both the Burr and the Huffman households. I think I may round that up to 500, as I don't quite think we can do incrementals like that, but we will nevertheless see. So we want the checkbook for one, and also the money order, because I will be seeing both of these options and seeing which ones. Okay, yep. So the money or transfer can only add with a round number. This one, yes, okay, we can set individual ones, right? So we can set 400 and 98. No, not 948. Okay, I'm pretty sure I actually had it correct there. So 498. Select payee. Sorry, I'm going to have to drag you away from your chess game there. And we want to send that to, yes, Charlie Burr. And we also basically want to duplicate that for the Huffman household. So, oh no, wait. So no, we had 3. Okay, so we're actually doing 20. Gosh. Okay, I can't do calculations today, apparently. Okay, so we have 12 crates there. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so we've sold 21 crates. So 21 times 83 divided by 2. Okay, so 871. So I'm going to have to... 871 minus the 498. I'm just sending them which equals 373. Okay, so we're going to have to send them a second check for 373, but that will be fine because then I will remember that we need to do a tiny bit more for the other family. Okay, so Charlie Burr. So set him out. Clear that. So we want to set. It was, let me get the right thing back up. 300 and 73, and yep, send that to Charlie Burr, and that will all work out. Okay, that's done, and then we can select the payee, and we want that for Raymond Huffman, although ironically he was one of the people that came by and actually bought some of the stuff, so he's kind of getting money back. Anyway, we want 800 and 71 to them, and then obviously when we rotate back around they will have that money as a lump sum for their earnings for the tomatoes, and that should be enough for them to start growing a few more. I will also get rid of the money order, seeing we don't actually need that, as we know that the sim wardrobe money order can do all the individual values. Answer the phone, please. And just see if it's anyone of interest. Nope, just looks like a townie friend of yours before you moved in. And all of the triplets seem to be absolutely fine and don't have any needs that need to be tended to, but I'm not going to tempt fate and open up the business while they are, well, basically, while we've got more babies than people able to take care of them. Speaking of care, hey, Tiffany is pretty okay in terms of actual mood, so... and probably going to want to make a bit of food in a moment. And another random townie wants to stop by, so we will just greet her. And yeah, pretty much as soon as any of my sims have children, it's going to be a bit chaotic in terms of actually taking care of them and making sure that they're needs are prioritized over anything else, even if that does mean fewer opportunities for business sales and income, because I was not expecting 3 kids in one pregnancy. Okay, so we have that, and that looks, yep, so I think these kids will be turning into toddlers on Sunday, if I remember my age calculations correctly. I can't quite remember if I set them to 2 days or 3 days. I think it's 2, but we will obviously have to see when it gets to 6 PM. We will get a little notification telling us about that anyway. And you probably want to stop watching movies and go and get some food. If we just select that, and once Richard gets out of the bathroom, I think I'm going to just tell him to clean the house, because things do need to be cleaned up at least a little bit. Okay, there we go. So pause the game while I quickly do that. So macro and clean. So that is, as you may or may not know, a mod by More Awesome Than You, which is called Macrotastics, and just basically means that a sim will clean the entire place until there is nothing left to clean. And while we are doing that, Tiffany is taking care of all the triplets with the baby monitor. And there we go. Okay, yep, it is just 2 days. So we will be able to see them all as toddlers tomorrow. And although I will state that Well, because of the mod I have which gives babies hair, it does mean that toddlers are kind of missing theirs when they grow up, but we will fix that with a makeover when they all age up into toddlers, so it won't be any issue. Okay. So if I send Richard to go and have some stuff to eat and make sure that need is filled up, because that is the last serving, and then I probably will just let them go on autonomy for the next bit, and hopefully if they end up with another pregnancy so soon it won't be multiples this time. Okay, like I said, I definitely wasn't expecting that, but we will just trot along, and admittedly having a bunch of new kids in the neighbourhood is pretty good because that quickly adds up our total number of Sims available. So if I just calculate, so we have 3 in the Portillo household, 2 in the Burrs, so that's 5, 3 in the Huffmans, so that makes 8, and we were at 10 and we are now at 13. So the next household to probably have kids is going to be the Portillos, as their teenage daughter is quite close to becoming an adult and she will need to be finding a spouse and figuring out who she is going to have kids with and all of that stuff, because I am not wanting any households to necessarily die out at this earlier stage. And I think, seeing as it is getting quite late, I'll stop you from playing the game, and okay, you're just going to go straight back to it. Okay, so automatically send you both off to bed and then just speed through until the morning. And yeah, the guest just decided to leave of her own accord as she couldn't get into the house because we have it locked to only household members and business employees, and obviously she is neither. So obviously with both Richard and Tiffany having an ideal number of kids of 1, they shouldn't be rolling to actually explicitly have any more kids, but because there is a well, obviously always a random pregnancy chance, then you know there is always the possibility of more kids. Okay, Tiffany's obviously trying to get to that changing table, but because Richard's standing in the way of basically everything. Okay, so she should, yep, there. Okay, so that will resolve itself on its own somehow. Okay, and there we go. So we basically, you are going to be feeding that kid, and you can, nope, change the kids. Yes, this is what you were trying to do earlier, and then you can come and get some food. Kid in the crib, go to the fridge and get something to eat, not go to the bathroom. Sometimes Sims, sometimes. Well, anyway, if you're going to the bathroom, you will just basically pull something quickly out of the fridge. Croissants with jam, that should take like 2 in-game minutes. There we go, all done, all ready to serve and all ready to eat. So someone is still not happy. Yeah, let's turn the warning box on and just see what happens on that. Or are they honestly... Okay, that might be Isabel, and she might just be complaining for the sake of complaining. Okay, that's Harry there, that's Isabel there. So we will see feed bottle to Isabel and just override that and see if anything happens. And we do not need someone calling us. Who are you? Who are you? We are No, we don't have time for you. We have 3 kids. We don't have time to sit around and chat to you, okay? Hey, okay. Hopefully that means Isabel was just a bit hungry and she shouldn't be crying anymore. This is going to definitely be a bit of a headache when they all grow up to be toddlers in a few in-game hours. Oh my goodness, I am not looking forward to that at all. But, well, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say my fault. It's just more how the mods I have lined up. ACR obviously doing a random try for baby, and then triplets and quads deciding even on 3% odds to give them triplets. Which is also going to make things interesting when they grow up, because they are obviously going to be woohooing on the sofa. I'll just zoom back out of the way from that. And anyway, so obviously when they grow up, if they decide to have biological kids, they're going to have a bump in their trips and quads odds just by virtue of being multiples themselves. So thankfully it looks like they are not trying for another kid, at least not yet. And doesn't look like any whiskey woohoo popped up either, so that is good. No more babies for the foreseeable future. So we serve lunch, penne, and it's a hailing, guys, it's hailing. Get inside. Get inside, please. Sims can die from being hailed on. I don't know quite how likely that is, and if it's more to do with just general motive failure than anything else, but I still don't really want to risk it if I can avoid it. And obviously, as we have all of these kids going to be turning into toddlers, I think I will start clearing out a bit of space and putting some toddler toys down instead. So let's do a nice little fairy teddy, and then let's do no, actually we'll do a little mini drum kit. There, the speak and say toy and the logic puzzle box there. So 3 kids, 4 toys, that should be enough. But they should have, or at least one thing available to them, if not their parents. So they should all manage on that within reason. Okay, and Richard's obviously gone over to his knowledge secondary because he wants to gain a logic point, gain a mechanical skill point, and reach cleaning level 7. All of those which should be moderately doable. Let's just speed this up a bit and get you to eat something. And I know I'm going to be paranoid, but I just want to check. Okay, nope, nothing turning up on the pregnancy scanner, which is nice to see. And once again, just let them run on autonomy for a bit, because in 2 hours we are going to have a trio of toddlers. And okay, someone's again not happy. So what can we do? Okay. That's Isabel and Marcia. So we can get those 2 tended to, at least initially. Okay, yes, I'm aware of that. Marcia is going to need her nappy changed in a moment. And from the looks of it, that warning system is going to be like moderately okay, as it just highlights one item needs tending to. Okay, and there we go. Some of the toddlers are going to be growing up in a minute if they're not going to be glitched out. So unfortunately the one whose nappy we didn't manage to get to change has grown up into a toddler, and that was what I was saying about them kind of missing their hairs. But in a moment we will be able to get away from that creepy visage and have a look at what Marcia looks like. So last one born, but first one to grow up. So we will just do a pick new clothes for her. I don't think she actually needs anything new, but it's the easiest thing to get a makeover done. And just wait for my game to load through while it picks up all of the toddler clothing that I have, which admittedly isn't that much, but it's enough to make the game struggle at least a tiny bit. Oh, and yes, I almost forgot, Sunday is import day as well, so Richard is probably going to want to buy a few things from the importers and make sure that we have enough items that we can keep the shop stocked for next week. So, and there we go, that is our Marcia. And what kind of hairstyle are we going to give her? I do have some which are fairly or feel pretty impractical for toddlers, so there are some that I tend to go for above others, and then a couple that are glitched, but I keep on forgetting to delete them. But while we are here, seeing as we're going to have at least one other red-haired toddler, we might as well just look through the entire catalogue and select a nice looking hair for her, as we are going to be doing the same for her sister Isabel in a moment. So which ones can we probably do that look fine? And as there are obviously no other recessive genetics around, we could probably go for quite a striking red hair like that. Actually, yes, I think I will go with that for her. So she obviously still needs a nappy change. So we will quickly do that. He won't be too happy about it, but okay, so she has rolled up the wants to basically be interacted with by the rest of her family members, which gives a point maybe towards a future family or popularity sim. We will have to see that. And unfortunately it looks like, yep, okay, so if I send you both to grow up one of the kids on your own, hopefully that will do it. And baby growing up has always been a little bit glitchy as far as I understand. So, okay, you've been called back over to there for Harry. So you will put him, so put him down there, and yes, you will need some new clothes because I'm not overly fond of those overalls. So what can we put you in instead? Let's go for that. And let's have a look at what you look like. So you definitely got your father's cheekbones, that I can see there because they are quite prominent. It looks like you might have your mother's nose, but I'm not 100% on that. Nevertheless, we will have a look here, and yes, you can see I've got quite a lot of overlap between my male sim hairs and female sim hairs, simply because, you know, guys can have long hair, women can have short hair, there's no real difference there. So you want to learn to walk and learn to talk. Okay, you actually have rolled over to some other wants as well. You want to teach Marcia to walk, and you just want to flirt with and interact with Richard. So let's see if we can get Isabel grown up for the last one. Yep, there she goes. In the teddy bear outfit, unfortunately. So once again, you will definitely need some more clothing. Let's get your mum to set you down. And we will get you into something definitely much nicer than that. So let's go back all the way to the end of this, because I think some of these, yep, like that, have default replacements, but I can never 100% remember which ones, especially when they don't have the thumbnails regenerated. Obviously something that's... Yeah, let's go for that, which is from... Oh gosh, I don't even know which pack that's from, but we'll go with that. And then hairstyle. Okay, you definitely have your dad's nose, I can see that. Maybe your mum's? No, I'm not quite sure. I'm not I don't tend to overly be that great at identifying features from toddlers. Generally tends to be more when they actually grow up to teenagers or closer to adults, when I can actually swoop in and make a quick little gif of them. I see, that looks a nice hairstyle for you, but I don't know if it's a bit too, like, well, not necessarily mature, but too maintained. Oh well, you're getting that. So there we go. That is the terrific toddlers, or terrific trio of toddlers. It's just, unfortunately, Marcia is looking the wrong way, but we should be able to have a look in a moment and just quickly see their genetics. So we want, obviously, SimDNA Richard, so we can see which eyes he has dominant and which eyes recessive, and then we can do similarly for Harry, who he has, yep, he definitely has his mum's eyes. Let's go for Isabel. Okay, nope, she has Richard's recessive eyes. And let's have a look at Marcia. She also has Richard's recessive eyes. Okay, so I was incorrectly talking there. So let's have a look. See if we can get you two to cuddle. Yep. Okay, that looks good. And then we can have a look quickly at them. So we can see that obviously Marcia's got more of a reddish tinge or reddish undertone to her skin, and partly because it's actually a freckled skin. There we go, it looks like they have got something more akin to, yep, brown eyes rather than the grey I was saying. Whereas if I send you to huggle with your brother and go along here, and hopefully that interaction will be accepted. Yep. Okay, so let's just quickly have a look. Yes, this is admittedly my favourite way to have a look at toddlers and see their respective genetics, simply because it's the one interaction they can really do together. But yes, you can see why I was kind of thinking that the eyes were fairly similar, because he has got their mother's eyes, but his sisters have got their father's recessive eye genes. But they do look at least somewhat similar to me on a quick glance, especially when they are, you know, very young little babies. But we will obviously just be spending time with them, and well, we will need to figure out who is going to be the household heir at some point, but as they've only just grown up into toddlers, I think we can probably leave that thought for a while. So unfortunately, one last thing that we will need is an army of toddler toilets. So we can potty train, and let's actually just get you all started. So do it alphabetically, so we can just make sure that you get at least some skill towards that, hopefully. And then after that, straight into your crib, and then put into crib as well. And then we will obviously need Marcia to learn how to use the toddler toilet as well. So potty train, so Marcia, and then put you in your crib. Ah, okay. Apparently Isabel managed to get the bear onesie as sleepwear. So what are you doing? Send you off to bed, and then get you in your crib. And yes, I also cheat. I have a mod which means I don't need to clean out the toddler toilets, just for, once again, my own sake. We have the triplets, and I think I will probably leave the import thing for now. We have just too much going on with them for today. But we still have plenty of stock available and plenty of money for our next rotation. Whether we will manage to get some more produce by midweek will be another question. But it's something that we will focus on when we come back to the next rotation of this household. Because I am not looking forward to this. I am not looking forward to this at all. Normally I don't tend to have like toddler triplets until I actually have like a couple of generations in the same household. But regardless, we are going to take a bit more time to consider what things are going to do, and the kids are all being noisy. Hopefully. So we can potty train Marcia, and I'm pretty sure I had some toddler foods around which I can sneakily put down and they can scavenge for themselves. Yep, here we go. Toddler meal, so vegetables, spoils in 48 hours and disappears if not placed on a match display tray or set for sale. And then we have porridge, nuts and seeds, fruits and berries, and then just a random bottle of oil. So actually if we put down just 3 little plates of porridge, this is once again from Sun and Moon, their medieval stuff, which is honestly just so useful for gameplay for me, just generally. They obviously got loads of like cheese wheels and like butchers or parcels of butchered animals and such, which obviously helps for people where they want to set up a medieval style hood or an integrated neighborhood, but they don't necessarily want all of the parts involved in it. So you have some food set down for you, which means your parents should have a little bit of respite because you should be able to feed yourself. And yep, there goes Harry towards the first one. So yes, you can all feed yourselves, you have some nice meals, and your parents can actually relax for a little bit. Now we'll just make sure that everyone is happy and okay. It has gone past 7 AM and we will turn our sights, quite literally, back to the Portillo household. So we will quickly save and make sure that things are not going to crash out for this. And then we will head back over to the Portillo household. There we go. And start the new rotation, week 2 of our Sims 2 neighborhood. So as I was saying, we have Estella here, who will become an adult in just 1 day. So she will be growing up. So, oh, okay, no, it wasn't Richard Nolan who had all the pole beans. Okay, never mind, but we can ignore that and just say that the Portillo household donates these just because they are the male household, so they don't really need that extra money. And I don't know why you are rolling so many wants to romance Sims, because it is never going to happen. Although if you actually outlive Duncan here, it may occur. Anyway, so if I send you to use the bathroom, your moods or motives seem to all be okay, and you'll probably need to use the bathroom once you are finished, but otherwise you are harvest that strawberry plant. That seems to have been one that we missed last time, so we can gather all of those together. Okay, I swear that basket flies over. I swear there's something that goes on there, because I see that every single time. Every single time someone picks up. Okay, so we want some strawberries there. we're not at the point where we can afford to fertilize it and get better quality. I'm not even sure if the boxes, the vegetable packing stations work with quality and scale up the price. That will be something that might be worth investigating and having a look at. But obviously if it doesn't scale up, then it's not going to be worth it, because we're just potentially putting more money in than we actually will get out. So who do you have? You have 2 bolts, Julian, so I may grab him as your future spouse when you grow up. If he's not an option on the in-game version, I will teleport him over and age him up manually myself anyway. So nothing too much probably of interest here. You want to become Hand of Poseidon, but hopefully you will maybe stick around until the end of the rotation, because I really don't know what we're going to do for Mayor or the Mayor candidates once he dies. It may honestly just go down to Estella by default, as she is the quote-unquote heir, but that obviously leads into more of a well, a hereditary position rather than elected. But you know, Sims don't necessarily care about that, and Sims don't necessarily care about a lot of things I put down as rules for the neighbourhood. Anyway, Estella is talking to, gosh, Charlie. I named them Charlie and Joe, but I cannot remember which one is the older one. So you went out and checked. You did get some eggs. Okay, so we can put that into the fridge. And you stock that in. So there we go, and also you are growing up today as well, so it's going to be a busy day for the Portillo household. We are going to have Vivian growing up into an elder and Estella growing up into an adult. There's going to be all change in the Portillo household today. We will obviously just have to see what happens. We know that Estella wants to become education minister, so she is going to have a strong focus on education for the town, which, given that the Nolan household just had triplets, may be something that we want to consider sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, I don't think it looks like you are going to roll out of that fearing or fear about going to college, but let's see if we can get you up a skill point anyway. Hopefully, maybe get you up, and maybe that will re-roll your wants and we can sneak by without that fear. Nope, unfortunately not. Okay, so anyway, Vivian is growing up into an adult. Okay, she's aged up into a dress that is okay. Like, it's not going to be something I'm immediately changing her out of, but I may tone down her lipstick a little bit, and maybe her blush as well, so we can just... Oh, I don't want to say mature in a bad way, but we can like just adjust how she looks. Of course, I did open all of these in Body Shop. Okay, so you have that one. Okay, that looks slightly less eye-catching and lipstick. Let's have a look at that. I'm pretty sure you got one of the gloss ones towards the back here. Yep, you do. Okay, so which one can we put on that is less eye-catching? Admittedly, that one looks quite nice. And do we have anything that's more suited to your skin tone? Nope, not that one. I think we're back into... Okay, no, we're back into the more natural ones here. So let's have a look at that one. Take it off if we can. There we go. Yep, okay, that looks suitable for me. So we will do that and have a look at our newest Elder Sim. As they presuming the game doesn't crash on me. There we go. Oh. Yep, there we go. So her first wants as an elder, like that looks like meet someone new. Yep. Throw a birthday party, woohoo in bed, and buy a hot tub. I think only one of those is going to happen, but there is our newest elder. And before we forget, let's grow up Estella as well. Ooh. Okay, we're not going to necessarily get them in the same shot together, at least not easily. But maybe we can do that. Nope. Yes, no, maybe, don't know. Come on, Estella. Grow up. Okay, there she goes. Alright. And that you are going to change out of because obviously I have it in my game, so it is something I like, but I just don't think it really suits you. And I'm just clicking through some of these to make sure that if some of these have been or had default replacements done on them, I can actually see which ones. It doesn't quite look like it. So, okay. We'll just go through and see what things might look nice for you. Obviously, you've just grown into an adult, so you are about, let's just say 20 for argument's sake. So it's just a question of, do I want to give you something that would look nice overall, or do I want to give you something young-ish at the moment, and then you will change your outfit when you're like about halfway to elder, perhaps? So let's just have a look. Feels a bit... That feels better for when you're a bit older. So let's... Yeah, let's go for that one. Because you did grow up in something green. So we can just adjust to that. Makeup, you do definitely have at least some on. Okay, and apparently I really should have checked this hairstyle for you as an adult because that just... looks like you've really pulled it back. So let's look at lipstick. Don't want anything that's too... I think that one might actually be quite nice. And we can see if a bit of blush suits you as well. Yes, okay, yes. That looks good to me. Okay, so save the game, and there we go. Mother and daughter entering a new stage of their adulthood. There is Julian, so we can grow him up. And unfortunately, Estella, yep. So the fear of not being able to go to college has hit in, and unfortunately, it looks like she might have a bit of a breakdown at the moment. Okay, we don't really care about Julian's clothing, but we can have a look at Vivian, who is newly an elder, and before she has a bit of a mental breakdown, we can have a look at Estella. So I did use the new, to me anyway, sliders for Body Shop, so I did create quite a few of the Sims in this neighborhood with some of those. So it's like cleft chin and options for like tweaking the eye bags and eye lines and such. So some of these Sims that we've created will be fairly unique in their own way. So, okay, you have 2 bolts with someone called Dwayne Harper. So that is an interesting thing. He is higher up on your list than Julian. So maybe I should have waited and seen your voltage with potentially other adult Sims that you've met before growing him up. But, well, it's done now. So, yep, there she goes. That is her having a mental breakdown, unfortunately. I was hoping that we'd be able to have the want of not going, or the fear of not going to college gone by the time she grew up, but unfortunately that was never really going to happen. But that should give her a boost back up, and thankfully as a knowledge sim she should be pretty easy to get back up into the green. Let's just have a quick look at how these plants are doing. They're a bit sickly, probably just because they need a bit of water, but otherwise we will be fine with that. So I tell you to put leftovers away and study a bit of cleaning to get your mood back up again. And then your parents will probably go off and woohoo in the bed. I will be surprised if they don't, honestly. For now, just doing general cleaning and okay, well, general cleaning, general flirting. Is that going to lead to anything? Maybe? Nope. Nope, you are settling down for a nap. If you're tired enough for a nap, you're tired enough to go to bed. Okay, and I do want to get Estella up to that next level of cleaning just to bump her mood back. So once she gets that, we'll probably put her or send her to bed. There we go. And obviously as a newly adult sim, we probably want to give her a double bed in a moment, or probably in the morning as it is. Nope, you can sleep in the bed if you're that tired, and I will just send you off to bed as well. So let's just have a look at our sims. You look to be about halfway through your elder stage. You've obviously just newly aged up, and obviously you will also have 35 days as an adult. Going to need to get someone to tend all of these plants, which is probably going to be whoever replenishes their bladder soonest in the morning. And then beyond that, we don't have the next town meeting until Sunday, so this will just be a general day of getting things done, probably finding who is going to be Estella's new spouse and continuing on the Portillo house name. Okay, so you're out of the bathroom. You can go and tend the plants. You can't get newspaper delivered because we apparently have too many somewhere. Not quite sure where you've been hiding them all. I can only see one. I can only see one there. Or is that because they were both on the bathroom, both reading the newspaper, and the game counted those as newspapers, like actual active on the lot newspapers? Okay, that is not woohoo on the bed, that is woohoo on the sofa. That is probably the one thing that irritates me about ACR and doing all of this, is that the woohoo on the sofa, you can only have normal or relaxed rules. You can't remove it entirely from what I have seen. Okay, Estella's finally gained a Silver Garden talent badge. It's going to be nice. That allows a few more crop options if we wanted to do so. But in terms of where we are generally, it's just something that's nice to know. So, like we said, you have 2 bolts with Dwayne, so we will call him and see how receptive you are to his, or building up a relationship with him. Else we may just go for Julian and accept that we will have, where is he? There he is. It will be brown hair or brown or black haired kids rather than potentially blonde haired ones. Okay, so Dwayne's out until 3 PM, so we will call Julian and see if he is available. Yes, he is. Okay, so we will just talk with him, get their relationship up a little bit. Bonus for our electricity being less, or electricity generated being less than consumption because of the nice row of solar panels we have on the roof of the house. Always nice to see. And it was 3 p.m. that Dwayne was going to be available. Okay, your moods are absolutely fine. I'll just basically let you continue talking to Julian until about 3 o'clock. And then we will switch over to talking to Dwayne and then see where things are after that. It may be a situation where we decide that we invite both of them over and see which of them Estella gravitates towards, if she rolls any once for either of them. And that reminds me, we actually do have, there we go, so we can boost her energy up a bit. And then what else was I looking at? Oh yes, the eggs that she had in inventory. So we can give that over to Vivian and Vivian can stock the fridge with those, just to top up our food supplies. And just saying that, no, Duncan is not. Okay, I suppose technically yes he is. Okay, so we've only got 28 fresh food, but we will manage. We've still got the amount from when we first bought the fridge and moved in, so we will be able to suffice on that. And honestly, if it comes down to it, everyone is producing a decent amount of food in their lots anyway, so if it comes to it, we'll just have to get them to stock their fridges with it rather than sending it down to Richard and him to sell to the general public. And speaking of general public, like I said, we have generated 30 townie sims, and I'm just trying to figure out at which point / population should we generate another 30, because as we are, I know from experience that even if you have all 30 of the sims around and buying from your business, it is not going to be enough to get a business up to rank 10. You do need that little bit of extra sims from a second batch. So we generated one when we had 9 sims, and I'm wondering if we should wait until we have like 25 sims actually in households, which would mean obviously a couple of generations, a fair few more sims born and moved into the neighborhood. And I'm just wondering if that would be actually a little too late in the scheme of things. So that's only one plant that needs spraying for the moment. Everything else seems to be okay. And Estella, we want you to call Dwayne. Yes, he should be back from work. Yes, he is. And once again, some fresh eggs, and stock the fridge with those. Okay, so we can see that Julian, she is friends with him at 100 short term, 27 long term, and Dwayne is probably going to take a moment to actually get to that level himself. Oh. And it's always nice when you start getting a headache in the middle of a stream, isn't it? But anyway, so she's now friends with him. So I think tomorrow, Wednesday, we will probably invite both of them over, see who Estella is more interested in, and see if we can start a path towards getting her hooked up with one of them. Don't just drop the receiver right on the floor. Hey. No. Okay, I was going to say, is there no way to actually hang it up? I swear there was. Yes, there is. And also, I'm just reminded we wanted to get Estella a double bed as well. So if we just eyedropper that, and then we can select where are my fancy ones. Let's get her. That one looks good. So she's now got a nice double bed for her own purposes. And oh, wait, okay, booty call. So she's just decided that she has more interest in Julian than Dwayne, at least for the time being. But we will still do the invite them both over and see who she fancies more. Just hopes that this doesn't result in a unintended pregnancy, because that would be amusing but also slightly annoying. Okay, so there we go, that is the falling in or getting a crush. Nope, okay, that was not the crushing on someone. So let's just see. I should have ACR set up that if we do have an unintended pregnancy, it should pop up. I think we are okay. A misc. Okay, yeah, no one is pregnant. Okay, but I am going to tell you to say goodbye, and I think when Julian is invited over in the morning, we are going to change him out of those clothes. Because as much as I know that some people really like football, actually wearing a football outfit like that as your everyday is not something I'm keen on. I'll just leave it at that. So obviously change this back so we can see who these, or who are Maya and Vivian know, which is a couple of Sims. You probably actually know the most by the looks of it. You know the most. So we will be having another city in quotation marks meeting on Saturday, seeing as this is a 4-household town, which thankfully now does have a community lot. There's not much to do there, seeing as we don't actually have the money to build it up anymore, so it's a little bit blank. But hopefully within a couple of rotations we'll be able to not only build that one up to its full potential, but also be able to get like a little local restaurant slash pub for people to go out and have a meal at. Okay, so we want you to get us some breakfast, and then if we call over Dwayne, I think he starts work earlier. Hopefully we've caught him beforehand. Yes, we have. Okay, so that's Dwayne invited over, and we also want to invite over Justin. So he is there, so invite over. Yep. Oh no, my psychic advisor forbidden me from leaving the house today. Okay, well, I guess you're not going to be invited to the whole let's see who Estella fancies more then. Unless of course I cheat and get the teleporter cat and we can just invite him over regardless. I think I may do, simply because that's going to be the easier option. Okay, so greet Wayne, and then we want, have a look, so Julian Holmes, and I'm not quite sure. Okay, not there, that is all of the regular counties. Okay, he's going to be in here. So let's just have a look. There you are, Julian Holmes. And as you've been invited by the teleporter cat, you're automatically seen as greeted. So let's just have a quick look with ACR. So, not appreciate, casual, there we go. Casual, will I woohoo, and then casual. Okay, so Dwayne has the higher attraction score, but Julian has the higher overall score, quite possibly because of the higher relationship. But we will just let them go around autonomously and see what happens. See who has better interest. And obviously Julian, I am going to change your clothing because that, yeah, I am not fond of that. So where do we change it? Here. I know there's an option. Okay, appearance, Julian, clothing. Okay, no, that was not change it. Actually, we might have to make you selectable and then quickly pick new clothes. Though unfortunately that seems to be interfering with his first kiss once, but never mind, that will probably happen in a moment when we finish getting him dressed in something anyway. Yeah, something nice, simple, regular. Let's click through all of the other options. It does give us a good look at his face, and he does have an interesting nose, but mind you, so does Estella herself. So they dress me in. Oops, no, I didn't want to select that one. But there we go. They make unselectable, and then we can just leave them to their own devices. Thing is, she is getting quite a bit of attention from Dwayne at the moment, and there goes first kiss. Yep, okay, that looks like it was Estella's first kiss as well. And ACR is working a tiny bit overtime with these two. Well, these three, I suppose. Oh, crush there from Dwayne. So that booty call with Justin may have been him getting a crush on Estella as well. So while that is all going on, I'll probably have you tend many there and spray that plant just to make sure that we have those still being cared for at least a tiny bit. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a situation where I need to wait for her to roll some wants for someone, because at the moment she is flipping between both of them. Well, if I break things up a little bit by getting you to stock the fridge with those eggs that you just picked up. Not the strawberries though, because we are going to want to send all of those over to Richard, probably when we have the next harvest comes through as well. And okay, actually, if we drag you off the chessboard, please. Because if you decide that you just want to play chess while you're here, it's not going to be that it's not really going to endear me to you. Duncan, yes, okay, he is available to talk, I guess. Yeah, she is seriously just ACR is just making her trade flirts with these two guys. Just nothing else. Oh goodness, how on earth are we going to decide on this thing? Okay, you've already checked for eggs, you've already picked them up today, we know there's nothing there. Okay, and I think I may actually need you to get some food in a minute. Okay, yeah, get leftovers. Gosh, Estella is being more of a romance sim than her romance sim mother at this point. Okay, and let's see, macro clean. Yes, I turned the chess table around deliberately so you wouldn't spend all your time on it. I wish you'd stop coming over here feeding the chickens, trying to check for eggs. You're just going to overfeed them and it's not going to do anything good. Okay, so I just saw a heart balloon for Dwayne. That probably doesn't mean too much, but I will just... Okay, I think I will say goodbye to both of them. Get you to do a bit of cleaning and see if your wants roll for anyone overnight or when that want gets fulfilled. Turn the chessboard back to where it was. because we're now no longer needing to block our visitors from using it. And okay, so Duncan's just going through and cleaning the house as I asked him to do so. Vivian is looking at things and just seeing those annoying lines. I'm just hoping that doesn't mean anything bad for the neighbourhood. I'm usually good at identifying what things are happening and resolving them. And I know those lines, at least historically, have been seen as not a good sign. Yeah, Stella's just happy skidding away. Wants to play a computer game, talk about hobby. Is this because you just have your hobby? Okay, no, you do actually have quite a high games enthusiasm. Part of the reason why I don't really take any notice is because I modded out the hobby enthusiast people from just barging into your house and telling you about it. Instead, it's now just a little notification up in the top right. Is that top right? Yes. So there we go. Stella's got a point of cleaning, and let's see. No, okay. She just rolled a 1 to get level 5 in cleaning. But anyway, we need to harvest those pole beans. And it doesn't matter too much that these ones are very sickly because, well, it'll just be standard bland pole beans anyway. And let's just have a look. Are the strawberries? Nope, they are not ready to harvest just yet. Okay, and apparently one of the pole beans died. So we can plant many. Okay, you can't do that. Let's have a look. Can you plant many? Yep, pole beans. And then I will get you pole beans and Estella. So we can just quickly go through that, and unfortunately, okay, no, they're not dead. They're just not have anything that they need that they can harvest. So pack many crates. Okay, who are you calling for a booty call? Justin again. So this may actually be what decides it, seeing as this has now been 2 booty calls to Justin versus none for no, that wasn't what you were here for. You weren't here to talk to her mum. You were here for a booty call. Hello, that daydreamer. Thank you for the raid. Party of 3. I hope you enjoy the stream. Thank you very much. Okay, and let's see if we can actually... Okay, that did not interrupt the booty call, thankfully. And unfortunately, however, you want to try and woohoo on the sofa while your dad is napping there. Okay, you've got on more sensible and you're going off to the bed. So, that daydreamer and those people who accompanied them to this stream, how is your day going today? If you had the weekend free of responsibilities, did you enjoy it? And did you do anything special? So we're just letting our... Well, this is our mayoral household, and I am just here with my fingers crossed, hoping she doesn't get accidentally pregnant. Hello! How are things going? Okay, and I think I will say goodbye to you, seeing as we need some sleep. And tomorrow, Thursday, will be the last day of our rotation here. No worries, the daydreamer. Once again, thank you for the raid. You have a lovely rest of your day as well. Hope to see you around at a future stream. Okay, I was just thinking that my game might have frozen up a tiny bit, as Sims 2 is wont to do, but we all look good. Getting a few new wants rolled in, which seems to be pretty much the same standard as before. So I think Estella has made up her mind as to who she wants her future spouse to be, even if she hasn't actually rolled any wants for it. But I will keep things open basically until they specifically start rolling wants for a sim. It is free territory, and well, I think we will honestly just need to see where things go, and I think these plants need a fair bit of watering. So we have this. Oh, Duncan is looking fairly old, unfortunately. That is 68 days old and about 2/3 through his lifespan, so he might make it to about 72 to 75 years old. Hopefully by the end, or to the end of the rotation. You're looking okay at 60 days old, and Estella has a massive 33 days left until she becomes an elder, so a decent amount of time before she needs to potentially make a decision on a future spouse and the one that she is going to be having some children with. Let's actually just see, did you... Yes, you did get enough points to get a new aspiration benefit. I think I probably want to go up the knowledge tree, so we'll grab that one. Vivian also has a new one, so we don't want massive attraction. It would be nice to get the slower hygiene and energy. I think we'll go up here, even though no one has any traditional type of jobs. That will still be a beneficial one. And yes, same again for Duncan. So what do you want to do? A few different little pleasure sim style wants. I'm seriously just waiting for Vivian, when Duncan dies, to just go, great, okay, now's my time to start woohooing with all of the Sims in the neighbourhood. Just because I can see that happening. Okay, another little bonus amount of money because we have exceeded our energy usage, which honestly I think actually, looking at this, we only technically have the TV and I suppose the fridge, oven and the blender, but nothing too bad. I do wonder if it would actually be less of a rebate if we had one of those huge big screen TVs. Oh, and the computer as well, which we basically barely ever use unless someone like seriously wants to play some video games. I don't think that computer is ever really turned on, unlike how things are in the real world in my household, in which case for us our computers are the main source of entertainment, education, and well, pretty much everything else that you can think of. So we will stock the fridge with those eggs that we've got, and hopefully we'll be able to get some more pole beans and strawberries, probably I think in the next rotation for this household, because I don't think they'll be good enough for today. Oh yes, that inventory reminds me, we wanted to pack many crates of strawberries. Vivian, nope, that was the wrong person. You don't have anything in your inventory. You want it to be Estella instead. Okay, 8 strawberries are not enough to make 1 crate. That is decent to know. Get you out some food. Get you... I don't know why everyone insists on playing Punch You Punch Me with Estella. She has no nice points. None whatsoever. Like, she will... like, you play Punch You Punch Me with her, she will punch you hard. If you pardon the pun, she will not pull her punches. Okay, as Tiffany just hopping by. And let's see, what does your ACR token say? So currently has the hots for Julian Holmes, so yes. You are going to be her spouse from the looks of it, unless you particularly decide you want to romance someone else, which is looking pretty unlikely. So I'll see if we can knock a few new wants into your rotation. Just by getting you to skill up a bit more. There goes Julian, just as I commented. And also we want to tend these plants as well and just make sure that they don't die before we can get some harvests from them. And yep, I think we'll probably be closing out this rotation pretty quietly. Estella and Duncan both skilling up, and Vivian just, I think, waiting to honestly talk to Duncan, but he's probably going to be invested in that painting for a decent amount of time. So let's just bump up speed. Everyone grows up a bit. And I think I will wait a tiny bit over just to see Estella gain that once to get a new skill point and see what she rolls. So all four once we roll, and nope, just a want to get to level 6 and wants to buy various things. So that is us ending the Portillo household for today, and we will go to the Burrs next, which are two teenage sisters. Let's see what they get up to momentarily. So a bit of background on this: when we started this neighbourhood, the Burrs were a teenager and a child, with naturally adult just in there to make sure that there was someone that we could actually create the sim household with, as unfortunately you can't do it with a teen as the oldest one. So they unfortunately lost their mother, and then Joe grew up into a teenager, and we've got a few days. Okay, so you become a teenager in 5 days, actually technically 4, because I always grew you up one day early if you are not going to university. So that will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yep, we will see you become an adult at the end of the rotation, and you have 9 days, so yours will be basically not this rotation, not the next one, but the one after that. And also thanks to Sun and Moon, we have some lovely corn here. And interestingly enough, you have a want to be friends with Eric, though unfortunately you do not have any chemistry with him. So that would have been fun to obviously get those two households linked up, but it's just not going to happen. Both Charlie and Joe here are popularity sims. Joe wants to become a visionary, so we will just get you to talk. Charlie wants to become a visionary and Joe wants to become a medium magnate. So Charlie rolled pleasure for her secondary and Joe rolled family for her secondary. So the odds are that Joe will probably be the household heir for this one, as she is going to be a bit more inclined to have, actually want to have kids. So, and we also have these 2 checks we can cash in. So there we go, that gives us 870 something. So what do we want to plant? This is 18 there, so actually, you know what, let's do some eggplants. Highest cost, highest benefit. I've never actually really been a fan of growing the eggplants and just doing the juicer and giving them skill points, because it always seems to be the one that I least want sims to actually learn. So I kind of did it a few times when I first got seasons. Oh my goodness, way back when. And then I just kind of forgot about it, or just didn't really bother, I suppose is the better term. No phone's ringing, but it can't be anyone too important. Get some breakfast done. Yeah, I say it wasn't anyone important, but they are ringing for an awful long time. Okay, if they're still ringing by the time she finishes her breakfast. Okay, nope, they've stopped. Anyway, we can put these all away. You need probably to use the bathroom quickly, but you seem to be doing fine. We could probably actually get you to call Ria, and so that would be 1, 2, 3. Okay, that would only be 4 sims, but none of the children or teenagers in this neighborhood go to school, simply because there isn't one established, so calling at midday on a Monday is absolutely perfectly fine. She is available to chat with no issues. So let's see what skills are you lacking? Oh, cooking, mechanical, cleaning and body. Okay, so we probably want, let's go cooking because I can't quite remember. Okay, your sister has 4 cooking skill. And for Terence, and hopes that he is at home / available to talk as well. Yes, he is. So that is basically your 5 best friends. That should be ready to go. And similarly with Joe, once we get some of the longer term relationships back or up to a high enough level, that should be enough to fulfill that 3 best friends want as well. So what else do we really have of note for here? I don't think there is too much of anything. I'm just really hoping we get an awful lot of stuff from these corn plants because for one, they are the industrial type, and for another, it looks like they take like a whole 3 seasons to grow, which is a bit not disappointing. Obviously, I'm more used to the season's crops being quicker to harvest, but if this gives us a load of stuff, then yes, it's going to be a lot of input for it, but we're also going to hopefully get a lot out of it. And the TV just broke. We don't have a repair service either, so you are going to have to repair that yourself. Thankfully you have got a few points in mechanical. Just please don't electrocute yourself. Because like I keep saying, we don't necessarily want another untimely death in the neighbourhood this soon. Okay, there we go. That seems to have gone fine. Sell that painting as no one had a fear of that. And Joe could probably actually stop skilling up because that was just for the 1 skill point. She's got that. And anything else that can really be done? It doesn't look like it. We could obviously always call Raymond for a chat. Yes, I think we will do, just to give her something to do. And yes, she is a popularity sim and she is shy. I know some people roll the aspirations based on a sim's personality, but I don't do that. I feel that it not pigeonholes sims, but I feel that it can be more interesting when you have, like, say, a shy popularity sim or a serious pleasure sim. It just adds a little bit to their character, I find. Okay, and we have some eggs available, so we'll just queue up, feed the chickens, and then collect the eggs, and then we can stock those in the fridge for a bit of extra fresh foods. Okay, Charlie probably needs to have a tiny bit of something to eat, so we'll interrupt her painting just to get her to have something. And that looks absolutely fine. And then just basically let them continue going about their business, seeing as we have set them up for that. Okay, all looking good. And yep, there we go. So send you off to bed. I was going to say, okay, we probably need to cancel her talk with Raymond, but no, she's just getting to it. And then we can get you to get some leftovers as well. Finish up the day with a tiny bit of food. That may honestly just be like 1 bite's worth. Oh no, 2 bites. But regardless, a little snack just to keep your hunger meter up. Back to bed, and that closes out the first day of this new rotation for them. So what are we going to be doing for them in the future? Well, obviously we set up some new eggplants for them to harvest in hopefully a few days' time. They got some money back from Richard. Drought has struck. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I wasn't quite aware of that, but I suppose it's one of those things that just can sometimes happen. So let's just have a look at wants and motives. Not high enough to be able to get you as a best friend. Neither are you. So we probably want to let you get your motives up a bit, and then we can send you to do a bit of jump rope as you want to do that. And Charlie, what do you want to do? Have a good reputation, ask Sim on a date, have 5 best friends, be best friends with Terence. Well, you might be able to get Ria as a friend if we just do that quickly. Hopefully her long-term relationship is as good. So let's just keep a quick eye on that. Maybe not. Well, if that's the case, then I will get you to tend and water the plants as soon as you finished up with that talk. And then we will try again a bit later. And then, like I said, we will get you to come out once you've finished with your food and actually probably put the rest of the leftovers back. Then go outside to do a bit of jump rope. Okay, there we go. So, let's see if I can find it. There we go. Jump rope easy. Okay. I've got just so many things in the game that sometimes having a look at the action wheel like that takes a while to find what I want. So you now want to learn fire prevention, which is probably going to be a good thing considering we have had one fire in the neighbourhood already. So feed chickens and collect the eggs once again. We'll wait until you've gotten a point of body before doing that. There we go. And then come back in here and study fire safety. So on the off chance there is a new fire in the neighbourhood, you will know at least some of what to do. Hey, so this seems to be trotting along pretty nicely, and we can, yeah, once again pretty much just let Sims go on with their, or what I've asked them to do. And could we actually get, okay, yes, we could get some more crops and berries from here, so let's do that. So, oop, Charlie has gained a gold gardening talent badge, so that is excellent. Okay, you were the one that had already harvested the berries from last time, so you can do that again here and stock the fridge with them. And once obviously you've finished watering the relevant crops, and I'm seriously a bit disappointed that one of the corn fields essentially ended up being lost to drought. That was a lot of work and effort we put into it, and it is now just all gone. But anyway, put all those berries into the fridge, and we can check food supplies. How is that? Oh, we've actually got more fresh food than we have regular food, so that's nice to see. Okay, you already have best friend relationships with Raymond, so we don't need to chase after him. We can do that. You want to learn physiology, but I think seeing as your fun meter is pretty low, I'll probably just let you go and like watch TV, read a book, or similar, play chess. No? Okay, go and play Red Hands with your sister. That is fine. Just clicking around and just keeping an eye on things. So we'll probably want to try and call up a couple more people tomorrow and get their relationship up as well. And yeah, this is, none of these households are pretty complex or anything overly strenuous, at least not yet, which I'm thankful for. It's like I do have in one of my other neighborhoods a household which I think had 4 adult Sims and 11 children, I think it was. Yes, I do have mods that extend the number of Sims that are available or able to be in one household, because I don't like to be too limited, and despite the limitations of The Sims 2 being a 32-bit game, I can still manage quite a few Sims on a lot at once. And I do mean that seriously. back in a different neighborhood, I used to do every Sunday like a huge family get together, and I think sometimes I managed to have about 45 to 50 sims on a lot. I mean, I got like 5 frames a second, but I would honestly just put it on in the background and let them all mingle and then send them home at the end of the day. But they got to interact with family members, talk to people that they may not necessarily have met before, and like pretty much create new friendships, which is something that I'm doing here as well. The mayoral meetings that take place every Sunday, just to get everyone in the neighborhood to be acquainted. And then obviously, if once this starts spreading out to more families and more households, I'm probably going to do the same thing in terms of inviting everyone around to like the main household and just letting them get to know each other. Get you back to bed, please, and get you back to bed as well. So we seem to be doing pretty alright here. Like the berries and eggs we are getting seem to be enough to actually keep our fridge stocked with a decent amount of fresh food, and then anything excess we actually grow can go straight over to Richard for selling. So that seems to all be working out nicely, which I am glad for. So it does mean that we obviously need to tend quite a few of these crops very frequently. So you want to jump rope again, you want to go off and buy a cell phone. Well, too bad. We don't have any place to put an electronics kiosk anywhere in the neighborhood, and we won't do for a while. You obviously have the want for 5 best friends still locked. So if we can get Terence and Rita to be your best friends, then that will be accomplished. Or set up calls for both of them, and you can progress to that once you've finished weeding all of the plants. Apparently it's... I think... Oh no, that is hail, okay. Yep, that is hail. Okay, you need to get indoors then. I have never had a sim die of hail, but I do not want to tempt fate. Okay, yep, there we go. Right, so call Rhea rather, just talk, and can we get you up to best friends? Once again, it doesn't overly look like it, unfortunately. And I am definitely not venturing outside or letting my sims venture outside any more than they have to in the hail. So let's call Terence and see if we can get him as a best friend. Yes, there we go. So 4 out of 5 for you. And we might also be able to do that for Terence for you as well. At the moment, Charlie probably needs to head over to the bathroom when she finishes that call. And then we can get you to call Terence as well. Of course, if we had more than one phone, but okay. He's apparently gone off to work somewhere. So tend that. Grab the eggs. Harvest some berries. Yeah, this is turning out to be a pretty standard procedure every day. Okay, answer that. And that is Richard. Basically the one who's like our main business sim of the neighborhood. But like I was saying, we seem to be in a pretty good pattern here. Like, get the eggs from the chickens, get some berries from these bushes, put them into the fridge, and we had 275 fresh food last time I looked. So let's just see how much that adds. 322, so that's a respectable amount. And what else do you want to do? So you did want to learn a few things, so I could probably bump your grade up actually. So Joe Burr to a B-, and you are probably just going to stick as a C grade student because you have had no interest in learning stuff whatsoever. So you've obviously been hands-on and learning how to garden. Actually, no, you did gain a gold talent badge, didn't you? So yeah, let's bump you up to a B- as well, because once again, when we actually have university, I do have a mod which allows for Sims with a silver or better talent badge to get a scholarship. So that counts in my mind for a decent amount of stuff. So we can tend a few more plants and talk to the corn just to see how that's going. And hopefully this one will not suffer any kind of drought. Okay, so that says it's growing nicely. Back to the TV before your sister comes along and asks you to play Red Hands again. And let's just see. So it has indeed gone 1 PM. So let's try calling Terence again. No, Terence wouldn't have been at work. He would have been at school because he is a teenager. And I suppose, headcanon, he goes to a school somewhere else. And he's kind of like the next town over or something. But there we go. Third best friend acquired. Wants to have 5 best friends now. You, I believe that is, yep, Eric. So we can get you to greet him. And spend a bit of time in the household, hopefully. And just ignore the skunk walking by, please. We don't want anyone to interfere with him. So what do you want? Apparently you really like playing Red Hands. I suppose it is one of the best ways to get your fun level back up, so I suppose I can't complain too much. Okay, so serve lunch. Let's get some hamburgers going. Ah, great. Yeah, I thought that might happen. Yeah, Eric decided to try and pet the skunk and got sprayed for his troubles. Hey. Thankfully, in The Sims at least, skunk smell just dissipates after a shower. Apparently not the case in real life, not that I've ever been sprayed by a skunk or even become close to a skunk, thankfully. I think I once drove past one when I was in California that had been killed, and that was more than enough for me. That was more than enough for me. I mean, they're cute. They are excessively cute. I just don't want to ever be next to one after it's decided to spray someone. So what else can we really do? You want to gain another skill point again. If we do this, I suppose let's go for mechanical. Charlie has 2 days left, technically 1 as I play it. So send you off to the bathroom. Okay, you've already gained that mechanical skill point, that's good. And you have a want to fall in love. Okay, so let's see. Unfortunately, the only sim you are interested in is Terence. So do we risk you falling in love with him, or do we go around and see if we can try and find any better sims that may be more compatible? Well, to answer that, I think we will go and walk to a community lot. Well, I say a community lot. It is the community lot, the only one we have in town, the town square. You have enough money that you can actually buy a bit of food if we end up being there for a while. But I think we will just use this to scope out a few sims, see if any of them take her interest, and then we can go from there. Because obviously both Joe and Charlie being blonde sims means that regardless of who they marry, there is going to be at least some kind of recessive genes in play. So where is the option to, there we go, scope the room. Let's have a look. Anyone? No. Okay, not really. At least not anyone that is currently here. Okay, we are all dealing with, I was going to say we are all dealing with teenagers, aren't we? Nope. That's 1 teenager, 4 adults. Are you... I think you're a teenager, but you are not the right orientation, if I remember. And Jessie is an adult as well. Okay. Okay. Apparently these two, that's you. Excuse me, dear. You are supposed to be married. Well, I mean, you are married. You're probably not supposed to be flirting and romancing with someone who is not your husband. Anyway, let's just hang out here for a bit and see if anyone comes through. Okay, that is Dwayne, so nope, no interest in you. And of course I send the Sims off to a community lot and I completely forgot that I'll start that again. So I send my Sims off to a community lot and then I forget that I didn't put in community time lot. So we are going to be heading back at pretty much, what was it, about 6:30 or 6:30 when we left. So we're going to be heading back and I think, yeah, this is going to be very much the singular option that Joe has is going to be the one that we are going to try and set her up with. One bolter is probably not a situation or not a sim I would really put her together with, as there are better matches out there. But I think the only situation I do that in is if a sim is like, or either gay or lesbian, and basically one bolter is as good as it gets in terms of attraction. Okay, nope, shouldn't have even really bothered greeting him, as there is no attraction there whatsoever. So we will call over Terence Lamb and see if any sparks fly, and if not, well, Joe may have to wait a bit for her true love. I think probably I will actually tell all of you to say goodbye, just to get you going before Terence comes over, so hopefully he will. Right over, be there in a few, great. Okay, so you can get some food. And then obviously Charlie can come in and greet him. No, I don't want to say goodbye. Okay, apparently he's pretty much walked in like he owns the place. And let's just see. So you do have one bolt of attraction to him. I'm not quite sure which of you technically. Oops, nope, I don't want to add to the friend zone. Okay, apparently I can't do the will I woohoo with you two, but never mind. Okay. Do you want to do play red hands? Of course. I really shouldn't have guessed anything else. But let's just talk. Just to get you two interacting at something. And obviously just also probably wait to see if ACR kicks in at any point as well. Let's just have a look. Okay. Yep, all things seem to be fine. Let's get you across to bed and just leave these two to interact and see what they are going to do, which fortunately doesn't seem to be overly too much. So the attraction might not really be there for them. If that's the case, I'm not necessarily going to force it, but it is a bit disappointing. So anyway, say goodbye, sleep in pyjamas, and I think once we get to Thursday 7 PM, when Charlie grows up into an adult, we're going to do a bit of a makeover, see if any of the adult Sims that she knows are ones she's potentially attracted to. And then I think we will end our stream there. So I will have a quick look. Is there anyone actually streaming The Sims 2 that I know of? Doesn't look like it, but there are a couple of other people we could go and have a nose at potentially. But for now, let's just get through the end of this day first. Okay, so you obviously want to grow up well, which you should do. Yeah, platinum aspiration. You have just broken the toilet though, and we might be able to bump you up to your 5 best friends with Rhea. Okay, Joe's gained a skill point. He's rolled away from the want to get, I think that was 5 best friends. But once again, we will see if there is any option. So let's just see if we can get Terence Lamb over again. Invite over. And he says, can my friend come over? Yep, sure. It might be another sim that we could potentially see if anyone has any attraction to. And okay, it is an adult sim, but as before, Charlie is growing up at the end of today, so who knows? This could be a lucky interaction for us. Who knows? Okay, so head over there. Who is calling you? Ah, Richard again. So anyway, I kind of wanted you to try and talk to him. So let's feed chickens, collect eggs, harvest some berries, stock the fridge with them, call Rhea, and then tend and water all of those plants. Okay, there we go. Just quickly stocking the fridge and seeing if I can get, there we go. So just talk for you, and I think I am going to need to, there goes Charlie with her want for 5 best friends rather. So if I come back and try and chat with you again, okay, and quickly get this before you start a new game, because that just seems to be really addicting to guests. So there we go. 5 best friend want got. That means you should definitely grow up well tonight. Okay, I was going to say you complaining about comfort, but no. Oh, there we go. There goes some ACR action. Okay, and Estella has decided to run off with yesterday's newspaper. She is angry with one of the Sims that lives here, but for the life of me I cannot remember who or why. So we probably want some lunch, so let's get some bloopy pancakes out. And I know I have said this in the past, but yes, I do tend to have quite a few options for custom foods, just because I find it's, well, nice just to have the visual variety, even if technically nothing changes. It's a bit like all in the really, really old days of Sims 1, I would often alternate my Sims between a standard meal, which kind of looked like some kind of meat or protein and a couple of vegetables, and a quick meal, which was more of like a lasagna type bake. And again, there was absolutely no actual difference to that. It was just honestly that I liked the visual differences. Okay, so you two are still chatting about a few things. You don't seem to overly be too enthused in terms of ACR action. But once again, I think I will just let you be autonomous, run with what you are doing. You are not going to play chess though. I really need to remember to start turning those around before I invite guests over, because having them just hooked on that is not good when I want you to be interacting with everyone. And apparently Charlie is getting a bit heated up. There we go, that's what I was talking about. Like about the hobby enthusiasm, where we just get the pop-up there, rather than the hobby sim themselves actually coming in to the lot. Okay, and you two need to stop playing that and move out the way, please. Your sister needs some food. Okay, there we go. So that is, yep, doing well. And am I going to have to push you into your first flirt? I think I may have to. So if I just, yeah, charm you and just do that as your first one, like just shy flirting. Okay, that has not actually done any. Oh, oh, oh my goodness! Way to rub it in your sister, Charlie. Way to rub it in your sister's face. Right, I was not expecting that to happen. So all of the flirting and everything that Joe has been doing with Terence has basically amounted to nothing, while her sister has come through and decided that she wanted to have her first kiss with him just before she grew up into an adult. Nice going there, Charlie. That was, yeah. Okay, yep, there we go. Okay, ACR definitely seems to have kicked in for those two. So we may be aging him up in a moment. But unlike with this Stella, I think we'll be aging Charlie up and then seeing what kind of attraction she has to various Sims that she's already met, and then growing up Terence. So there we go. Let's just see. Nope, no more noogieing. Your sister needs to grow up. If she can. There we go. Okay, just trying to get good angle. That is not in the wall. I failed. But I can tell from what she is just wearing in the thumbnail that that is not necessarily something that I am enthused about. And apparently we need something that has a fat mesh morph. And nothing is really popping out at me for there. Let's just quickly scroll through. Maybe something like this. Yeah, let's try that one. And then everything else I don't really care about because that is all townified and randomized. Go for some light makeup. See if anything like helps out without being overpowering. 100% sure on that one. Let's keep going. Yes, okay, I think I will go for that one. And seeing as we had another one of Richard Nolan's toddlers in that hairstyle that she has, I will have a look. And these are all new hairstyles I have gotten from Hat Play Sims, some of them being Scandinavian inspired with all the braids and everything. That is Estella's hair, and that is a big braid. So we'll continue through and just see if we can pick a potentially nice one. So not those big braids. Maybe you kind of want to keep your hair short, but you want to try a little bit of a different hairstyle. Yeah, let's go for that. Okay, and there we go. Newly adult Charlie. So green eyes. All good. So let's just see. Wait a minute for you to finish growing up. We don't want any of those Sims to grow up with you, at least not yet. And let's have a look. Okay, you have 0 attraction with anyone else. So that means, congratulations Terence, you are growing up as well. So let's see, aging. The age to adult Terence Lamb. So there we go. That's him growing up. And he's grown up into something, you know, okay. And there we go. Yep, I think ACR has chosen that Charlie rather than Joe is going to be romancing Terence. So we're going to have to see how that pans out. But for now, I think that is pretty much us done for the day. Just wait for them to finish woohooing just in case we see a random unintended pregnancy. Thankfully, doesn't look like it. Nope, nobody is pregnant. So I will save and make sure we have all of that done. And then I think just check. Is there anyone that we could potentially raid? Okay, let's have a quick look. Okay, I think I have got someone. Okay, so let's go and raid this person. But for me today, I will say thank you very much for everyone who has popped in, and I will hopefully see you again next time. Thank you very much for watching, and bye bye for now. Just transition onto that, and then we will start our raid. There we go.